¿Tienes dinero para el súper ahorita? Pues paga de ahí y te doy al rato, ¿no?
Si me dijeron que si quiero incrementar el sueldo, tengo que estar en el sueldo.
Sí.
Good morning.
Good
Anybody
morning.
hear me?
How are you today?
Good.
Guillermo.
Guillermo, okay. I guess you're Guillermo Castillo Dorado.
That's the one.
Okay, good. And let's see who else I see. Roberto. It looks like he's just signing on, so we'll wait till he actually
Okay.
gets hooked up, and we'll see what's going on.
Great.
How was your first class yesterday?
Well, I couldn't have the chance to take it because I was flying. So I took just a few minutes to hear, but was a little better, little.
Okay, good. Roberto De La Rosa, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, my name is Dennis. I'll be teaching the class today.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah, hi. And I'm going to wait a couple minutes because I think there's supposed to be more than just two of you. We'll wait a couple minutes and then I'll get started, okay?
Okay.
Roberto, were you in yesterday's class?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Do you know how many students there were?
Two more.
Two more? Okay. All right. Actually, I think I may get started here because we'll have a lot of things to cover, but more for you, for Guillermo, or Guillermo, is that what it is? Guillermo?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, since you missed most of the class, how it goes is we do PowerPoints, we go over the material, 3 different PowerPoints, and we do a little bit of practice, and then we'll go into some simulation. And later today, we will, the second or third simulation, if we get that far, you'll actually do external control where you'll get to control the airplane. So Guillermo and Roberto, have either of you seen the video or got any material on how to connect to external control?
Yes. Well, as far as I remember, we get to the chat, and then we saw
Yeah,
a link.
Yeah,
you show us a link.
Yeah.
You send us a link, and then we get our window to control the simulator.
Yeah, you'll open up you'll paste, cut and paste that link and launch another window, or it depends on what kind of thing you're using. iPad, you may have to swipe back and forth or something, but in Windows, you can actually put a window on top of your other one. And then that'll help you control. We'll go through that process today. So that may take a little while and take a couple times to get it right, but then after that, things will go a lot smoother. So
okay.
Okay, will be great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started. We'll see if anybody else joins. I'll. So you should see now a home screen. Do you see a home screen?
That's right.
Okay. All right. That's where we have all our information that we get. So today, as you did in yesterday's class, at least for you, Roberto,
Okay.
we will read, the pilots, you will read all the material just to get practice, right? And
Okay.
so go ahead, and we'll start with you, Guillermo. Read the whole slide here, the black slide.
Okay. Only there?
You lead
question.
You lead air.
You leader.
There you go.
You leader. Requesting a better operation alternative.
It's class 2, right?
Class 2.
Yeah. Intro or introduction. This is where we present the new material that we're going to work on today. So for today, what's going to happen is, as an example, I'll give a clearance and then you'll read it back, but you want something different. So that's what this means, requesting. You're asking for something better, or a operational alternative, meaning operational is whatever it is you're doing, turning, climbing, descending, joining a course, something operational you do with your airplane, but you want something different, an alternative. That's what that word means, different. All right,
Good.
Roberto, go ahead and read our objectives.
Learn 3 different phrases that will help you request a change to your original clearance. The pilot will ask for an alternative course of action using instead of or simply instead. The pilot will request a different course of action using commonplace English. We would like or can we get?
All right, so typically in air traffic, we try and keep things as short as possible. And that's why we have the phraseology or the words that we have, right? Like these words down at the bottom, can we get, or we would like, are basically request, right? So in ATC vernacular or proper words, you would use request, but sometimes you have to use commonplace or plain English, as we say, to get your point across to what you want from the controller. Sometimes this sounds a little bit better, all right? And then when you want something that is different than the original clearance, you can use the word instead. I want this instead of that, or can I have this instead? So it depends on where in the sentence, where in the sentence that you would use these words, how you would say it.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go over that, but these are ways to ask for something different other than using the word request. All right, so context, what that word up there means is we're going to give meaning to what we just said. Basically give examples of it. All right, so let's go with Guillermo. Go ahead, you read this one.
Okay. Very often during operation, pilots need to ask for a better operation alternative by using requests instead of requests to go to San Diego instead of LAX.
LAX. LAX is Los Angeles.
LAX, yeah, right. Additionally, for the ask for alternative, using commonplace English with the following phrases: we would like and can we get? We would like to maintain present altitude. Can we get taxi Charlie instead of Bravo?
Okay, so up here you can see we use the typical ATC or pilot phraseology, request. That says this is what I want to do, right? One word says all of that, right? And here you say what you want, and then instead of LAX, I want to do this. I don't want to do that, okay? Let's say a gentler or kinder way to say it would be like this down here. We would like, not demanding. This almost sounds like a demand sometimes, and it can come across wrong, right? Like it's not that you're not going to do what I said. You just want something different. So down here, these words can make it sound a little bit better. And when you make things sound better, sometimes you got a better chance of getting it, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not telling you you should be doing this all the time. Typically, we want to keep our words as short as possible. But
yes,
yeah.
Dennis, that's what I'm going to tell you, that sometimes there's a crowded area.
Yes.
So you don't have a lot of time to, we would like to, or instead you say request, request to fly, requesting to fly heading 070, for example.
Yeah, perfect. And you said cloudy, or we also call that a gray area, meaning it's not always one way or the other. Sometimes it's, you have a little bit of room, but it depends on the situation, right? If the controller is real busy, you want to just keep your words short and simple.
Yeah.
But if you have time and, you're just trying to convince the controller, then you would use words like this. That's all we're practicing or we're introducing. All right. Okay. Go ahead, Roberto. You can start reading this slide. And for guys, from time to time, I may interrupt you just because I want to make a point before I lose it. But usually, I'll tell you, go ahead and read the slide. And if you don't hear anything from me, you just keep going.
Okay.
All right. Say,
When used at the beginning of or middle of the sentence, accompanied by your alternative, instead goes accompanied by of, referring to the alternative. Instead of taxiway Charlie, can we get taxiway Bravo? Can we get taxiway Charlie instead of Bravo? When used at the end of the sentence without mentioning the alternative instead, is used alone. Can we get taxiway Charlie instead?
Okay. Right. So 2 different ways to use it, right? If you use it, like it says here, in the beginning or in the middle, and this is considered middle because it's not the last word, you use instead of because you're proposing one thing and then saying, I don't want the other thing. So you use instead of. But when you use it as a question with the word at the end, you're just asking for what you want. Can we get taxiway Charlie instead? You're not mentioning Bravo down here because it's what we say implied, meaning you already know you have Bravo, but we're not even going to talk about that. This is what I really want. Can we get taxiway Charlie instead? And that's how you kind of say it. You raise your voice at the end because it's a question instead, right? To give it emphasis. So just different ways to use these words depends on where in a sentence as to how you use them. And you may get it wrong sometimes. That's okay. It just takes a little bit of practice. So let's see some examples of this. Guillermo, go ahead.
Sure. When a pilot wants a change of route, approach SWA 299, it looks like there is a weather direct KLAX. When we like to go San Diego instead.
Okay.
Instead.
All right, so there you go. So this is Southwest, Sierra Whiskey Alpha, Southwest Airlines. And this is Los Angeles Airport. And you probably already know this, but I'll just review anyway. The K is the letter for the country, yes. Right? K is the United States. Most larger companies have their own letter, not all of them, but United States is K. And then your 3-letter identifier for the airport, LAX or Los Angeles. But the point of the slide is the pilot's telling me why. You look outside your windows here, out the front, thunderstorms, and he's saying, there's weather straight ahead, direct to Los Angeles. We'd like to go to San Diego instead. Could you say request San Diego instead? Yes, but this sounds a little bit nicer.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Here's another example, and Roberto, go
ahead. The same one?
Yeah, well, it's a different one. You see, that's the first one in white,
okay.
And there's another one.
It's request too, no?
Yeah. Go ahead and read it.
Approach Southwest 299er. It looks like there's weather on our route to LA. Request to go to San Diego instead.
Oh, so here, now we've used both the, oops, I'm sorry, I hit the button by mistake. We've used both the requests, but we've put in instead at the end, right? Because you're not saying, I don't want to go to Los Angeles. Up here, you're just saying, there's weather there, but this is what I want to do, and you use instead at the end because all you've mentioned is what you want. We request to go to San Diego instead. The information up here is just that. It's information. It's not part of the request. Or you could say here, we would like to go to San Diego instead. All right. So let's take a look at this picture. Now, when we have a slide with pictures, I usually like to have you just describe what you see so you can practice your English a little bit in the aviation arena. So go ahead, Guillermo, and just tell me what you see on the screen there, what you think is happening.
Well, they are taking some deviation, but for bad weather, all of them is taken to the left for bad weather. So they are requesting left deviation.
Yeah. So, and this word up here concisely means we're more exact or more explanation as to what's going on. We'll see the words, but yes, you have thunderstorms here. So you'll see in our simulation, that's what thunderstorms look like. They'll have the big cloud and the lightning coming out. Same down here. Some are lighter rain, some are more moderate rain. And then these are just regular clouds here, the white ones. And then the darker ones are just kind of rain clouds, they're not thunderstorms. So you can see also, that's the symbol for turbulence, the red box. That's not something you see, right, in the air or in your airplane. You don't have anything that can show up. But for simulation purposes, we'll have the box there, just indicate that there's turbulence in that area because it's part of the simulation. So yes, you can see everybody seems to be going around the weather. The white planes going to the east, the blue planes to the west, and they're all trying to get around that weather. So let's see what these requests are for Roberto. Go ahead.
Request divert to San Diego instead.
Right, so he's not wanting to go up to this area, it looks like, right? There's too much going on. He wants to go down to San Diego, which is probably down here, and then turn back up to the north. That way that keeps him south of the weather. And this is how you can say it, right? Request, divert, this is very official. That's the correct phraseology instead of the nicer way to say it. And then at the end, instead, meaning instead of what you gave me before, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
All right. And Guillermo, go ahead and take over for this slide.
Okay. You pilot, I'm making a more specific request about course of action that would work better for you.
Right. Work better for you is yeah, it's an alternative. So, all right. So in this slide, whenever there's a picture of like a control tower or something, that's me. I'll usually say that unless I ask you to say it, but I'll say the controller part, and then you can say the pilot part here. And you can see here, there's two pilots. Something's going on. I say American 395 to set and maintain flight level 220. And Guillermo, go ahead and take over. You'll answer.
Okay. AAL 395 Roger descent and maintain 220 request 240 instead.
Right. So he wants to be a flight level 240, but he's been assigned 220, so he has correctly responded and said yes to set and maintain 220. But this is where you want a better or something better for you. Request 240 instead. Don't use of there because instead is at the end of the sentence. Instead.
Check.
All right. So now we're on the ground. Just a different example of how to do this. So go ahead, Roberto.
Also, while taxiing, you may have a concern.
Okay, so it looks like we have an airplane here, taxiing this way, and these are just signs telling you what the taxiways are. And I say, November 687 India Whiskey, runway 26 via Alpha Charlie Mike. And go ahead.
There may be construction work and you do not want to go by them due to wingtip clearance.
Okay, so this is giving you some information. You don't really want this taxi route because of this. So how would you ask for that? And go ahead. There's what he's thinking about.
November 687 India Whiskey. Can we get taxiway Delta instead of Charlie?
All right, so we've used the word of here because instead is in the middle of the sentence, right? It's not at the very end. So that's when you put that of in there. Can we get taxiway Delta instead of Charlie? All right. Okay, in the next case, Guillermo.
In this case, the pilot is correcting ATC KDA AL in the correct one of the two.
Yeah, you're going to get a clearance here to, this is Dallas, Delta Alpha
Dallas.
Lima, Dallas Airport, right? So you're going to get some kind of a clearance, but this is telling you, this is where you're really going to, okay? Dallas, DAL. So here's your clearance from ATC. Or no, first let's have Guillermo go ahead and request your clearance.
Yeah, November 298 Romeo Echo requests clearance to Dulles.
Dulles. It's Dulles, okay?
Dulles.
And actually, what that should say is, that's the wrong airport. I'm sorry. That should say Dallas Fort
Another
Worth.
airport.
Yeah, Dallas Fort Worth, which is different than Dallas Love. That's Dallas Love, DAL. Two different airports in Dallas.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. This is incorrect.
Yes.
Dulles. So
It is not right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's requesting his clearance to Dallas Fort Worth. Okay, so
Dallas.
or he's requesting his clearance to Dallas, not Dulles.
Dallas Fort Worth.
Right, so here we go. November 29er, 3 Romeo Echo, you're cleared to Dallas Fort Worth via Epkey 3 Deuce Golf. I think that's Garden City. Golf Charlie Kilo Hides Nander to arrival. So I've cleared you Dallas Fort Worth, but you're not going there. You're going to Dallas Love. So here we go.
Dallas Love. Yeah. Okay.
So go ahead, Roberto. You take over.
November 28, 29er, 8
29er,
Romeo Echo. We're going to Dallas Love.
Yes,
Instead.
Dallas Love. Yeah, Dallas Love instead. So since it's at the end of the sentence, instead, you don't put the of there, instead. Right. So I've cleared you to Dallas, but the wrong airport, right? So
Right.
the controller comes back, and actually the route is correct. I just misspoke. I said the wrong airport. It happens because sometimes you're thinking or talking real quick, and you gave everything correct except for this part, the airport. Because they're very close, but I go to November 29.
It's very close. It's,
yeah,
15 miles, something like that. It's very close.
And they're both called Dallas something, right? So it's an easy mistake to make. All right, so November 293 Romeo Echo, correction. You're cleared to Dallas Love via Epkey 3 Deuce Garden City Hides Nander to arrival. And does it make you read it back? It doesn't, but I want you to read that back. Go ahead, Roberto. Read that back.
Okay, November 2903 in Romeo Echo, correction. You are cleared to Dallas Love by Equipe 3, Deuce, and Golf Charlie Kilo, Hayden, arrival, Heights,
Yep.
arrival, Nander 2.
Nander to arrival. Very good. Yeah.
Nander to arrival. Yeah.
And this word up here is Epkey. Epkey.
Epkey.
All right. All right. So Guillermo, go ahead and take over. Actually, I'll read the part from the tower. It says we would like. So this is what you're going to use. We would like. American 289, continued descent to 8,000.
Delta 924. We would like to maintain present altitude for another couple of minutes.
Okay, so and I'm not sure why the call signs are different. They should be the same. So, but what you're saying is we would like something different, right? Instead of, you're not using the word request, you're just saying it in a nicer way. We would like to maintain present altitude for a couple of minutes. And I could come back and say either affirmative, all right, maintain whatever you're at, say 10,000. Or I can go back and say negative, I do need you at 8, there's other traffic. So it depends on what's going on. But this is a nicer way to say it. Another nicer way to say, can we get, instead of we would like. Can we get is another way to say that. So go ahead, Roberto. Wait a minute. Let me give you your instruction. Delta 231, cleared ILS, runway 23 right approach. Now, you don't like that. For some reason, you want something different. So go ahead and say what you want.
Can we get ILS runway 23 left approach?
Right, so different way to say it, right? Can we get 23 left? You don't want the right, you want the left. Can we get that? Can we get ILS runway 23 right approach? All right. All right, so let's go through the summary. And Roberto, actually, let me just read this part. One thing I want to mention is it's okay to ask for something different than what you're assigned. Because it doesn't work for you sometimes. For whatever reason, operational, something to do with how your airplane is configured, your passengers, turbulence, weather. Sometimes whatever I give you, I don't know that you don't want to do it or can't do it. So you have to have a way to say, I want something different. And these words down here are examples of that. You would just fill in the blank, whatever it is that you're requesting. But request is a formal word, right? That's asking, request this
Oh.
instead.
Okay.
Or a nicer way to say, can we get this? Would be the same thing instead of that, whatever it is. Can we get 8,000 instead of 10,000? Or Roger, descend and maintain 8,000, request 10,000 instead. That's more official, right? Request. Or Delta 924, we would like 10,000. It's just a nicer way to say it. So these are just
Good.
ways, different ways to request different things. One thing I would suggest, if you have a reason for it, to give it, because we are more than likely to get it, right? Like, for example, say you have, I'm trying to descend you and you have some passengers in the back and, you don't want to do that yet. You say, well, we got some passengers standing up. Can we just hold off, or can we stay at 10,000 instead for a little bit? And I may, if I can do it, I will, right? Because it doesn't matter to me. It's a separation thing. So if I can't do it, I'll say I can't do it, and I'll give you a reason why. But if I can, usually if you give me a good reason, I'll do it. All right.
Okay.
All right, so that's the end of the introduction PowerPoint or slideshow. So now we'll go into some scenarios and demonstrate, show you more examples of how this works. And I kind of forget where I left off, but I'll just start with Guillermo. You both have had plenty of time because we only have 2 today. So it's the same type of slide here, Guillermo, right? We're still requesting a better operational alternative, or a simpler way to say that is, I want something different, better.
Yeah.
We're still in class 2, and there are 40 classes, by the way, 40.
Okay.
We got a long way to go. All right. So I'll tell you, in these scenarios, sometimes we'll see arrivals and things like that, and I'll ask questions about the arrival just to get you to practice talking in English about something that you may have to look at, or brief between pilots. I realize you're probably going to speak Spanish when you're talking back and forth to each other, but it's good practice to talk about this stuff in English as well. So Roberto, go ahead and read.
KLM scenario 1. KLM 74908 Heavy is a B747 inbound to KJFK. As it approaches the Kennebunk transition, the pilots detect something is wrong.
Okay, so we're going on arrival, right? And Kennebunk is a transition on that arrival. Kennebunk's the name of that transition. And something's going to go wrong for you in your airplane. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a picture here. There's something wrong. I can't tell just actually looking at the picture, but we'll find out. So here's an air traffic control tower symbol. That's the thing I get to say. All right, KLM 7458 Heavy, descend and maintain 17,000. And Guillermo, your turn.
Yeah. KLM 7458 requests flight level 220 instead. We have a problem with the right spoilers, but we believe we can soon work on it. KLM
Work it out.
7458.
Right.
Working out.
Okay, so what did I just send you to? 17,000. So I would like to hear first, KLM 7458, descend and maintain 17,000, and then request flight level 210 instead. I would like you to read back what you were assigned first, and then go through this process. So you see the word instead. We don't use of, because instead is at the end of the sentence. And then you've given me a reason. So I got a problem. And also you told me earlier, we think we can work it out in a few minutes. So this is all information that leads me to believe that you really need this, and it's not going to take long. So if I can work this out for you, I will. And it's, just like in any question you ask somebody, if the more information you give them, the more likely you're going to get what you want, because you've given them a good reason. So that's what this is all about. All right. So here's the airplane again. I say, Roger, KLM 7458, descend and maintain flight level 210, then reduce speed to 250. So you requested 210, you gave me a good reason. I did it because I don't have another airplane in your way that conflicts. That's a big word for us, conflicts or confliction. We don't like those because it means airplanes are at the same altitude or headed towards each other. So I gave you new instruction, and Roberto, you can go ahead and read back.
Could we maintain present speed? We are still working on this problem. We are unable to slow. KLM 7458.
All right, that makes sense. You have a spoiler problem, so whatever reason, it's operational. You're giving me a good reason. Could we maintain present speed? But you should have read back the set of maintain flight level 210 also. So just keep that in mind when you get an instruction.
Okay.
Even though you don't like it or you want something different, read that part back first and then say, I want something different. So I know that you're going to do what I told you first, and then that's the proper way. Sometimes you don't do it that way, which is also okay because you're giving me a reason, but that is the normal, correct way to do it.
So I could tell you, KLM 7458 descending to 210, can we maintain present speed?
Yes. Yes. And now, of course, keep this in mind. If you really have a problem, you cannot do something, then you're not going to do it. You're going to say, look, I cannot do that. Okay? You're responsible for the safety of your airplane. We're just talking about situations where there's no emergency, there's no urgency. You just want something different, and you have a good reason for it, and we're trying to negotiate that, okay? So don't take that, and when I say you should read back the proper altitude, don't take that to mean you can never, not do what we say. Of course you can, if, you're responsible for your safety. All right.
Right.
Right. Okay, so Roger, KLM 7458 Heavy, descend and maintain flight level 210, resume normal speed. All right, so this is important here, resume normal speed. I read back and gave you what you requested. First of all, 210, and now I said resume normal speed. Why did I say that? Because the transmission before, I actually assigned you a speed, and I'm taking that away. I expected that you were going to do that, but now, yeah. So what does resume normal speed mean to you, Guillermo, if I were to say that?
It's going to be the operational speed for us.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's what's the correct speed for you and your airplane in its configuration. It's different for different airplanes, right?
Right.
So what this is saying is, I don't really know exactly what your speed you're going to do, but whatever you need to do, what is normal for you, you are okay with that. Now, are these speeds similar between different airplanes? Yes, 7.4,
yeah, right.
7.3, they're not that different. So this isn't like some huge difference that's going to happen. It is between say a Cessna and a 7.4, but we're not usually dealing with different types like that. So resume normal speed just means whatever you're good with, whatever you need, I'll adjust to that. I may later ask you, well, what speed are you doing if there's somebody following you? But I can usually see that myself on my my radar scope, what you're actually doing. So, all right.
Right.
Yeah. So go ahead, Roberto, you can read back.
Roger, descend and maintain flight level 210, resume normal speed, KLM 7458.
All right. So we finally worked it out, right? You've got your flight level 210 and you've got the speed that you need. Resume normal speed, you just read back the clearance.
Is it necessary to say Roger?
No, no, it isn't. But just like when you're in conversations, sometimes you add words, right? Because you're thinking while you're speaking. So you may add a word or two. No big deal. That's okay. But you don't have to say Roger. You do need to say your call sign, right? And you need to read instruction. Yeah, like for another example was you could say, I can do that. Descend and maintain flight level 210, resume normal speed, KLM 7458. Do you need to say I can do that? No, but it's just, Sometimes we do that. We add extra words
Oh, okay.
when we don't need to. That's all that is.
Okay.
All right, so here's an example of an arrival. And do you use Jeppesen charts?
Yes.
Okay, so these are Jeppesen charts. Sometimes our chart examples are U.S. government charts, so they'll look different, but they are the same procedure, right? They're the, you know, everything will be the same. It'll just look a little different. The font, the print is different, and how some things are presented are a little different, but legally they are the same. So controllers don't have Jeppesen charts because you have to pay for those, right? Your company will pays Jeppesen for this, but the United States puts their own charts out, U.S. government charts. Here, let me show you one. Let's go to a good website that's free is SkyVector.
Okay.
SkyVector.
Yeah, in the United States, it's free, skyvector.com. You see up in the address bar there. So let's go to an airport. Let's say, where's this? This is Boston, I think, Parts Arrival. Let's see if they have that there. KBOS, I enter the airport, and it's going to tell me everything about the airport. The diagram, the VFR charts, the IFR charts, and everything about the airport, their frequencies, their runways, and then down at the bottom, the arrivals and the instrument approach procedure. So let's see, is there a, no, I don't see the parts. Maybe that goes somewhere different. I forget. But anyway, let me show you just an example of a government chart. So you can see it looks a little different, right? The waypoints, yeah, it just looks defined.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is what the controllers use. Now, the chart that you have for Jeppesen is the same. It just looks a little different, and boxes are placed different places, but it has all the same information. So what I'm saying is sometimes our examples will have these kind of charts, and sometimes it will have Jeppesen.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. Oh, this is Kennedy. I'm sorry, I should have looked at that, Kennedy.
Yeah.
So here's Kennedy Airport. This is the Parts arrival. Let's just go over a little bit. Guillermo, what's the name of this arrival? Can you tell just by looking at the chart?
Sure. The name of the arrival is, there's no name.
Yeah?
They took Robert.
Roger.
It's my name.
Roger?
Yeah, Robert.
Robert.
Yeah, Robert, because it's in bold. See how it's in bold? And also, if you look along one of the routes, you can say here at Sandy Point.
Sandy?
That's
the transition, no?
Yeah, that's the right here, the VOR, Sandy Point.
One question, Dennis. Sandy Point will be the transition?
Yes, that's a transition.
It says, yeah.
Yeah, and the name of the arrival is the Rober 1, right?
Okay.
Rober 1.
Rober 1, right.
Yeah. And up here, Kennebunk, the example was Kennebunk transition. That's
okay. Kennebunk transition, Rober 1 arrival.
Right. So if we don't have the title up here, it took that out, right? You don't have
we used to see it and in the top.
But there's two ways to tell what the name of the arrival is. It's in bold. Usually this will be down, closer to the airport. And then in the parentheses, it'll tell you the name of the arrival. Okay. One more question. Let's see here. Roberto, this box right here where it says expect to cross flight at flight level 240, what does that mean to you?
That we must comply with that.
Actually, it doesn't.
That information.
Yeah, that's information. This box.
We should.
You're not to do this on your own.
Trade?
Nope. Expect. See that word expect? Expect. That means you're probably going to do this, but the controller has to issue this instruction. That word expect means you normally do it. It happens almost every time, but you're not to do this on your own. It's not a clearance. It's information. Whenever you see the word expect, it's information.
Okay.
Right. So don't do that. If you're up here, say at flight level 260, Don't cross trade at 240 unless the controller says cross trade at flight level 240.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Very important, okay?
Yeah.
This is, what's called an OPD, optimized profile descent, has mandatory altitudes, but this is not one of those. This is just telling you
Okay.
expect it. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go through this. Here's your airplane. He's on this arrival. He came from Kennebunk, and he's going into Kennedy eventually. Let's see what happens. All right, KLM 7458, descend to cross Rober at 9,000, reduce speed to 280 knots. Rober is way down here, and you can see in the box it says to expect that, but that's not the
9,000. Yep.
yeah, that's not the clearance. This is the clearance. You have to hear those words
Okay.
because it says expect. All right, let's have Guillermo read back. Go ahead.
Can we descend at pilot discretion instead? KLM 7458. We would like to stay above the weather.
All right, so you want something different, a different alternative, right? And you've used that word instead, and you didn't use request. Can we descend? A nicer way to say it. Can we descend at pilot discretion? We'd like to stay above the weather. So what you've said is, let's go back to the original clearance. I did say cross Rober at 9 and reduce speed to 280 knots. You're not saying you don't want to go to 9. You just want to change the speed, right?
Right.
That's what you read back. All right. What does pilot discretion mean, Guillermo?
He's just requesting to descend as pilot discretion because there is bad weather ahead or something like that.
Right. So pilot
he wants to
discretion.
keep altitude. That I think.
Right. So what you want to do is you want to decide when to descend, right? You don't
Right.
want to do it right now. Maybe you want to wait to over here. So that's all you got. Pilot discretion means you do have to go to that altitude, but the pilot decides when to start down. That's all. Pilot discretion. All right, good. All right, so I say KLM 7458 heavy, descend pilot's discretion, cross Rober at 9,000, reduce speed to 250. So now it's up to you when to descend. Just make sure when you
Right.
get to Rober, you're at 9. All right. And I
Right.
also I gave you a speed. All right. Roberto, go ahead and read back.
Royer, descent pilot's discretion and cross Rober at 9,000, reduce speed to 250 knots, KLM 7458. Thanks.
Right. So once again, there's that extra word. He didn't have to say
Yeah.
Roger, but he did.
Yeah.
That's okay. You'll hear that a lot. Okay, that's the end of that example. We're going to go into a different example now. You have United on the airport there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look like you're being towed. And Guillermo, go ahead and read.
United 1015, a Boeing 737 is beginning push back at O'Hare International out of gate Golf 11 and ready to taxi.
All right, pretty simple. He's Chicago O'Hare, very busy airport. Look at this, big airport, a lot of runways, a lot of taxiways, and the controllers talk really fast. All right, so here he is, United right there. And the windsock is showing you which way the wind's blowing. That tells you what probably what runway's in use. All right.
That's right.
Or a good
2A
chance.
and 27.
Yeah. All right. O'Hare ground. Oh, I'm sorry. That's you. Let's have Roberto do that. Go ahead, Roberto.
O'Hare ground, United 1015 at B11 ready to taxi with Mike.
All right. And I come back. United 1015, runway 22 left. Taxi via Alpha 9er, Bravo, and Delta. Hold short of Delta 2. So where is that? Let's see. 22 left. That is
Delta 2.
Oh, to the left is all the way to the right, to the east.
Yeah, it's up. I can't tell from the my box is in the way, but we'll figure that out. So Alpha 9er is right here, right?
Okay.
Bravo is this taxiway along here, Bravo, and hold short of Delta 2 down here. So 22 left's down here somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's over there. That's to the left.
Yeah.
That's Delta 2. Yeah, right.
Okay. So that's the instructions. Alpha 9er, Bravo, and hold short of Delta 2 right here.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
And a bit later, I say, standby, United 1015. Wind has changed to 320 at 10. See, the wind has changed. So
All
that
right.
means I'm probably going to give you a different runway. All right.
Okay.
And go ahead and read back, Guillermo.
Roy standby, United 1015.
So, what does standby mean? Let's talk about that.
Just we're waiting for a additional clearance,
Right.
Neil.
Right. It means I can't give you what you want right now, or I can't answer right now because something else is affecting my my decision. I have to figure something else out, or get approval, or get more information before I can give you the clearance. So it doesn't mean I don't want to give you a clearance. It means I can't yet because of some other outside factor. Okay, so you got circles here. That looks like the runways that we're changing to, right? I haven't said anything, but go ahead, Roberto. You're getting impatient. What do you say here?
O'Hare ground,
No.
United Airlines 1015. What runway can we expect?
You want to know the runway because you probably have to check out, you have some things you have to look at, data um, uh, for the runway, right? Because you're not going to the one that you expected. United 1015, you can expect runway 32 left. All right. And go ahead,
Right.
Roberto.
United 1015 would like to request runway 32 right instead due to takeoff performance.
All right. So you want this runway. And this is how you've said it. Instead of request, you said we'd like to. Oh, you added the word request. And then runway 32 right. Instead, you didn't use the word of because instead is at the end. And then later on, you say due to takeoff performance. You give me a good reason. Maybe it's a longer runway. And you want that one instead of this one. That's why you were asking. All right. And I say, Roger, United 1015, runway 32 right. Taxi via Alpha, Alpha 19, and Bravo. So Alpha is the main ramp taxiway right here.
Yes.
Alpha 19 is right there.
Okay.
And then Bravo to get up to 32 right. So I give you
Okay.
Right.
all right. And go ahead, Guillermo, you can read back.
Taxi runway 32 right via Alpha, Alpha, 19 and Bravo. United 1015. Thank you so much.
There you go. So you've read back to proper clearance. All right.
Mhm.
All right, no problem. Following American Boeing 737 in front of you, United 1015. So later on here, I say there's an aircraft. Just follow him. He's going the same way, so you can just follow him out to the runway.
Okay.
Go ahead, Guillermo. You can finish up.
Yeah, following the American 737 United 1015.
All right. And our last scenario example, scenario 3. Go ahead, Roberto, and read the slide.
American 832 is approaching JFK International Airport, getting vectors to land on runway 22 right.
All right, we're going to Kennedy, New York Airport. Here's 22 right. Here you are. You're coming in for 22 right down here. The ILS right here. All right. And I
Right.
say, American 832, 5 miles from Corvette, turn left heading 250, maintain 3000 until established and localize a cleared ILS, runway 22 right approach. There's Corvette right there.
Okay.
Mhm.
And Roberto, read back.
American 832 request a 360 to the right. We are too high to intercept the runway 22 right localizer.
Okay, so you have a situation. You're too high. Why? I don't know. Maybe I descended you too late. Maybe you descended too slow. Whatever reason, you're not low enough to get on that glide slope, right? So you want a 360 to the right, a 360 to the right to descend. So let's go to the next slide. And I say enable 360. Turn right heading 350, vector for descent, expect a final vector to intercept 22 right localizer. So I'm saying, no, I can't give you a 360 for a descent. I'm just going to turn you northbound, descend you, and bring you back around. That's what that expect final vector is. So why can I not give you a 360? maybe there's somebody behind you. If I give you a 360, you're going to turn right into them, right? Usually at busy airports with ILSs, everybody's in a line. You kind of have to stay in line, and if you can't do the approach, you have to come out and go and get vectored back to the back of the line, basically. All right. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying unable. All right. So you're like, I don't want to do that. So Guillermo, go ahead and say what the pilot says.
Yeah. Could we get a visual approach instead?
Instead, right. Could we get a visual approach instead? Meaning I don't want to be tied to this ILS and the glide slope specifically, right?
Yeah.
But a visual approach, you can descend faster. You can do what you need to get to the runway. So this keeps you from having to go to the back of the line, right? It's a better alternative, all right? And I say, American 832, confirm you would like visual approach, runway 22 right. Now, I don't know. Normally, I may not ask this, but maybe he's concerned because you said you were too high. If you were too high to shoot the approach, then you may actually be too high to do a visual. I just want to confirm. Right. Yeah, I want to make sure. Are you sure you can do this? Is what this question really means. All right.
Great.
And go ahead, Guillermo. What's the pilot say?
Affirmative. We like to come a visual approach instead.
All right. So you're saying, yeah, I can do it. Basically affirmative. And instead, you've used that at the end of the sentence, so you don't need to use that word of. Use instead. That's it. All right. So that's just what happened there in that one. All right. So we'll go into the exercises. In the exercises, you usually have to fill in blanks, and it's hard for you because you have to think in English. Right. So not as easy. All right. So same title slide. And here's your instructions. And actually, I'll read this part. Instructions, what we're supposed to do. You're going to be the pilot, and you're going to make a request. You're going to ask me something for something different. And these are the examples of how you can ask, right? We've covered this already. We request this, say an altitude instead. And if we just give a question, we question for just one thing, we don't give a reason or read back the other thing, we use instead and not of at the end. Could you give us this instead? Or if we use instead in the middle of the sentence, that's where we add that word of because there's something else to follow. We'd like to have 8,000 instead of 10,000. Right? That's where you use that word of when you're going to use both pieces of information, not just one. And here, the last one's back to just asking a question. Can we get 10,000? We're not using instead. You can do that as well. You don't have to use instead or instead of. You could just simply ask for what you want. All right. So let me show you the format here. This is what eventually you're going to do, but in the beginning, we're going to get information. So Roberto, go ahead and read. I want you to read both. This is what you got before, but read both of these for practice.
Okay. You are behind a B737. You are number 2 for the visual approach, runway 22 right. Confirm you want visual, runway 22 left.
Okay, so let's go over that first. That's a Boeing 737. In the United States, a B usually refers to a military aircraft, a bomber. So you typically say a Boeing 737 here, right?
Okay.
So
right.
This is what I gave you before. Your number 2 visual approach. You're coming in 22 right, but you want visual 22 left. So here's the controller's instructions. Delta 913, wind 22015. You're clear for visual approach. Runway 22 right. And you want this, right? So you want something to. How are we going to ask for that? All right. What does the pilots say to each other first?
We need a longer runway, so we will ask Delta Airlines 9113, request 22 right instead.
22 left.
22 left instead, sorry. Yeah.
You are cleared for 22 right, but you want 22 left. So there you go. Yeah. Request runway 22 left instead. Very good. Or you could say we would like runway 22 left instead because it's a longer runway. See, if you add that information of why, sometimes you get a better chance of getting it, right? I'm not just saying I don't want that runway. I say, "Yeah, I kind of want the other one because it's, you know, it works.
Or can we also say, can we get to let it's a longer, because we need a longer runway?
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's another way to say it. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
So there's not going to be, I'm not going to give you there's not going to be any answers filled in here because usually there's more than one correct answer. It's just something for us to practice and talk about. All right. So scenario number 2, let's see what's going on here. Guillermo, go ahead and read what your previous clearance was.
Previous clearance. Expect runway 27 right ILS approach.
All right, so I say Delta 913, turn right heading 110 to intercept vectors ILS, runway 27 left. And that's what you were told to expect, and that's what I just cleared you for. But you don't want that. But let's see what happens here. You see the pilots are pointing at something here, right? And
Right.
they don't want 27 left. They want something different. And
27 right?
yeah, maybe let's
Could
use
be,
that as an
yeah.
example. So go ahead and request that.
No.
Roberto, go ahead. You can request a different runway.
Delta Airlines 913 request 27 right instead.
There you go. Very simple. Request runway 27 right instead. Or, let's see, does it give a, I don't know why that said 27 left because you want a different runway. That should say 27. I need to correct that. Let me,
There's a mistake there. Yeah.
yeah, let me find out what title number that is. Okay. I'll put a note in there to fix. But you said it correct there, Roberto. Request runway 27 right instead, or we would like runway 27 right instead of 27 left, or we would like runway 27 right because it's a longer runway. Giving a reason sometimes help, right?
But for example, for us that we have charter flights and we do not go often, sometimes if we change the runway, the ATC always give us instructions to make a visual approach, and we do not know the area or neither the airport. So
right, yeah.
No,
So
sometimes we prefer to go by just following all the aircrafts and all the instructions of the, unless we have an emergency or unless of the aircraft performance that we will need a longer runway, we will ask for something else.
Correct.
But we preferably don't change the approach because it's sure that you're going to give us a visual approach, and we don't know the area. It's and it can be very confusing.
Yeah, and that's what you tell the control. We're unfamiliar. We don't know the area. We want to stay on the ILS. Where sometimes, like you said, your cargo flights, the runway you're assigned isn't close to where you park, right? So maybe
that's
you want,
right.
Yeah. So and if you tell them that, we're parking over at cargo area A, can we have runway 27 right instead? And he may go, oh yeah, okay, sure. I find that because that's what everybody else is using. Or he may say negative because of traffic. Sometimes at busy airports, we arrive one runway and depart other runways to keep them apart.
Okay.
So you may be requesting a runway that we're departing, and it may not be safe, or it's just safer to have airplanes on different runways for arrivals and departures. So be aware of that. Doesn't mean you won't get it. It doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Okay.
You have a better chance of getting it. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, this example here, here's the pilot on the controller. Now up here, you're going to use we would like as your request, okay? So I say Comair, that's Comair 283, turn left heading 150. Now let's suppose you don't want 150. You want something different. Let me give you an example of what you want. Let's suppose that you can't turn yet because there's clouds. You want to wait a couple miles, say 2 miles. So go ahead and now I forget whose turn it is. Let's go to Roberto. Go ahead, Roberto, and request to stay on your present heading for 2 more miles instead of that.
Okay, Comer 283 requesting.
You use these words up here, Roberto. Right?
We would like to maintain present heading for 2 more miles.
All right.
Comer 283.
Very good. And I say, there it is right there. There's your example. All right, and I say, all right, Comer 283, turn left heading 150 after 2 miles, meaning after 2 miles, after you go your 2 miles, then turn left heading 150. So I've, given you what you requested right here. We would like, to wait 2 miles. Or I could just, the other answer I could say is Comer 283, Roger, fly present heading, I'll turn you later, or something like that. Right?
Okay.
So it worked. You gave a request, and it worked. All right, let's see what this one is. I'm trying to look at my examples. So here's pilots are the airplane. Here's the tower, and these are the words you're going to use, Guillermo. Can we get when you give your request? Let's see what the situation is. All right, Air Canada 149 cleared ILS from a 23 left approach, and you're able to pilot, make the request. Let's say you want a different runway, which is probably the right
sure.
one.
Yeah. Air Canada 149 we're requesting. Can we get 23 right approach?
Can we get runway 23 right approach, or can we get runway 23 right approach instead? You could add that word instead if you wanted to. All right.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I say, Air Canada 149 cleared ILS runway 23 right approach. I just give it to you. All right. That's what you wanted? Yeah. Doesn't matter to me. I don't have any traffic. I clear you for it. All right. Next example. Roberto, you're going to use the words we would like in this situation. And this is a tough one. So here's what procedure you're flying. It's comps. I think you're at 6,000, and there's 10 miles is how far it is from you. I think that's what it is, but let's see.
Okay.
All right, U.S. Airways 586, maintain 200 or greater on the speed until comps. So right here. Well, let's suppose you don't want to do that. Go ahead and read it back first, Roberto.
200 or greater until comps, U.S. Airways 586.
All right, let's suppose you don't want to do that, and you want, let's see. Oh, you want 6,000. That's what it is. You want 6,000 feet after comps. So go ahead and request that using the words we would like.
We would like to be at 6,000 at comps, U.S. Airways 586.
All right, very good. Perfect. All right, U.S. Air 586, Roger, 250 till comps, maintain 6,000 after comps. And then you would read that back. And if you notice, I put that word Roger in there, didn't I? U.S. Airways 586, Roger.
Yeah.
It's just a habit. You know, sometimes you just throw that word in there just to, because you're maybe thinking while you're talking, and it usually will add extra words when you do that. All right, let's do one more example, and then I usually about halfway through class I like to take a break, and then we'll move into some. Let's do one more for you, Guillermo.
Yeah, sure.
Citation 323 cleared for ILS approach, and let's suppose you want a visual. You don't want the ILS. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, right. Citation 323 requests a visual approach instead.
Or instead of the ILS. Yeah. It's in the middle of the sentence, so you have to add something.
Yeah, right.
Right. So you would say request the visual approach instead of the ILS. But you did say it right without using of. You said request visual approach instead. You could. That's correct. Or request visual approach instead of the ILS.
Instead of ILS. Check.
You don't have to say it that way. It's just an example of what. And like I said earlier, if you have a reason, right, give it. You usually have a better chance. All right.
Oh,
so
wait.
All right, let's skip through these because I think there was only one more anyway. So now we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we're going to
Okay.
go into, I'll set up the simulator. But I'm going to mute for 5 minutes, so I won't hear you.
Okay.
You won't hear
Okay.
me. But
See you in
Yep.
See you in 5.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, I am back.
Great.
And let me put, I have to put a password in here. We'll get
Good.
this started. All right, here's the simulator. Now the first one, we're not going to do what's called external control. You're just going to watch and we'll just practice a few things while the airplanes are moving. So let me load, I have to load the proper scenario or map.
Mhm.
That's what you're seeing me do. All right, and here it is starting to show up. And okay, a lot of information here. We just have 2 airplanes. Let's get the 2 airplanes up. And so first of all, before we start, does anybody have any questions about what we've been working on today, or just any kind of question that you have, you're wondering about something? No? Okay.
No.
All right. So let's talk about this. This is Los Angeles Airport here. Okay. And this is an arrival going into Los Angeles. And there's 3 different transitions. There's one up here, there's one right here, and there's one right here. And they all come together right here at Bassett, B-A-S-E-T, Bassett. That's the name of the arrival. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can see some of the things on it. There's Bassett right there.
Bassett.
And the
Right.
reason it's called Bassett is because all the transitions come together right here at Bassett. That's usually how an arrival is named, where everything comes together. And then right here, the past Bassett is the common route. Everybody flies that part, but everybody doesn't fly the same transition. That's why transitions have different names, right? Up here,
Right. Okay.
29 Palms. That's that transition. That starts at that VOR. Peach Springs is right there. And then Hector. And I know in your language that H might be silent, but here we say, huh, Hector.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Hector.
Because I know
Hector.
you'll probably try and say Hector, but it's Hector. And we have thunderstorms. We got a lot of weather here, don't we? Thunderstorms. So here is aircraft number 1, FedEx 641. In this example, now typically in our simulations, you'll be the same airplane through all of the simulations, but for some reason on this one, it'll change from 1 to 2. That's why we're not going to do external control on this one, but the next one we will, and you'll be able to control the airplane. All right, so Guillermo, you will be FedEx 641 out here. And let me
Right.
he changes altitude to a IFR altitude, 23,000. All right, he's at 23,000. And really out there, he should be doing at least 250, maybe even faster. But we'll put 250 in there. And over here, aircraft, the white aircraft, that's Alpha Foxtrot Romeo, that's Air France. Roberto, you're flying a French plane today. You're Air France. Air France 3090.
I'm going to speak French today.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'll let you go on that. Maybe if you know one word in French, you can use that.
Oui, oui.
There you go.
Oui, oui.
That's the one I would have selected too. Oui, oui. Fun to say. Okay. We'll put you at 250 knots too. All right. So you've got some turbulence in your area, Roberto.
Okay.
And really, let's put you at a lower altitude because you're going to come in on a base. You're going to come in up here and go onto the Bassett like that. But you do have problems there, right? What do you see ahead of you?
Heavy thunderstorms.
Yeah, you got thunderstorms.
And also turbulence.
All right. So the turbulence, you don't have to worry about that. Let's move that out of there because I may say that's when we practice you giving pilot reports like, yes, how was your ride there? Or are you experiencing turbulence? Yeah, we're getting, this would be light turbulence. See the one, it's not a triangle, but whatever that's called. I forget, ampersand or something. Here it's 2, that's heavier. So just trying to get you used to simulator, seeing some things. These things here, the white puffy things, they're just clouds. You're allowed to fly through them, but I don't want you to fly through thunderstorms. So if you're headed towards a thunderstorm, you need to request something different, right? before you get there. Don't wait till you get there and ask me. It might be too late, right? I may be talking to FedEx or somebody else. Make sure as soon as you see trouble, you know, that's when you try and get in to talk to me to request something different, because it takes you time to put the entry into your box, to change your headings and stuff like that. So try and stay ahead of that. But it's okay if you don't. If you get stuck in one, I'll move. I can move the airplane around if I want. To. So where I can stop the simulation. Up here's my play button. I'm going to push the play button, and the airplanes are going to start to move. So let's just practice a couple. That's too fast. A couple things. So Guillermo, you're FedEx. A FedEx 641, proceed direct 29 palms, cleared for the Bassett 2 arrival.
Yeah, we're requesting to keep heading due to bad weather ahead. FedEx 641.
FedEx 641, you're requesting a different heading, Roger. Say your request. What heading?
It's gonna be a 270. It's gonna be a take around 20 miles more.
All right, FedEx 641, Roger. You can fly heading 270. Oh, let me get rid. Somehow I hit some hot button there. FedEx 641, fly heading 270. Advise able to turn towards the arrival.
Yeah, that's affirmative. We have a bad weather ahead, so we request to keep heading 270. Then turn to Crossley.
No, I didn't give you any instructions. So good that you said that. So what I said was FedEx 641. I'm going to hit the pause button here. Fly heading 270, and I changed your heading. You're headed west. Fly heading 270. Advise able to turn back to the arrival. So what I'm saying is, when you when you get past this weather, tell me, all right, I can go over here now. I can go towards the arrival, and then I'll turn you. I do see this weather, but what I see may be different than what you see. So I don't always know exactly what you want to do. Usually I do. I know when you get to about here, you can turn, right? But maybe you see something different, maybe at a different altitude, but that's what I'm expecting. But I'm leaving it up to you to tell me. Advise able to turn. All right.
Sure.
Okay, let's go to you, Roberto.
FedEx. Okay.
You want to practice again? Go ahead, Guillermo. Go ahead and say it again.
Yeah, FedEx 641 now. We're keep heading 270. Then will we be able to direct our drop?
Arrived. Yeah, right there.
Arrived.
Yeah, arrived. Yeah. Okay, good. So you gave me. You'll let me know. I'll be able to go direct arrive. All right. Let's push the play button. Air France 3092, fly heading 090, vector for the arrival.
Air France 3090, fly heading 090 for the arrival. We have some build-ups ahead, so we would like to fly up north for the arrival.
Air France 3092, Roger. Turn turn left heading 360, vector for Bassett.
Turn right, Air France 3092, turn heading 360, vector for Bassett.
Yeah. I said right originally, I meant left, turn left. And you can see I put in 360, and now your airplane's turning to the north. So you will be able to do this as well when you connect to external control. You'll be able to put the heading in and the altitude. All right, let's practice.
FedEx 641, we are able to direct arrived.
FedEx 641, Roger. Turn left heading 190, and when able, proceed direct arrived and join the Bassett 3 arrival.
And turn left, clear direct arrived, and when we able, Bassett 1 arrival.
Bassett 3, I think it's a Bassett 3.
Bassett 3.
Right. So you're going to turn. You're going to go down to arrived, and I'll expect for you as a pilot, since I cleared you, right? You can join the Bassett 3. When you get down here, I expect you'll turn on your own and get on the arrival. All right, let's give one
Check.
more request for, I'm going to put you over here, Roberto, okay?
Okay.
I'll give you another instruction. Air France 3092, turn left direct to Civet, and join the Bassett 3 arrival.
Air France 3092, turn left to Civet and join the Bassett 3 arrival.
All right, so I put you on about a 290 heading. I'm thinking that looks like a good heading to get to Civet.
Okay.
And then when you get to Civet, I expect you to turn. All right.
Okay.
Now FedEx is getting down here, so this is what you would do. Guillermo, you would put like maybe a 270 heading. You can see your airplane starting to turn. You're joining the arrival.
Okay, great.
And then same
We're
thing.
gonna fly clear direct Civet, then Bassett to arrival.
Right. Now I'm putting in the heading for Roberto. I'm putting about a 270 heading, and that'll put you right towards Civet. So I'm just showing you what you're going to do.
Yeah,
Okay. You'll put these
Mm-hmm.
in the box. All right. So let's pause this. Let's go to the external control. Okay. We'll connect.
Okay.
So what happens is, let me show you a couple boxes here first. Okay. This one here. Okay. When I give you the link, I will send it via chat. You'll see the link, and then you're going to copy it, right? You'll highlight it, you'll copy it, and then you'll paste it into a new window. And this is what's going to come up. Something like this. It'll say external control, right? And then you'll have all these choices. I'll tell you what session to put in. Today it's going to be session 4. So you would put the number 4 in there, or hit the arrow up and down and go to 4. Then I'll tell you your aircraft number, your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 10. So today it'll be 1 or 2 because there's only 2 of you. You'll put that in there. And then I'll tell you your call sign. Real important here when you put your call sign in is to use, for letters, all capitals, capital letters. And then between the letters and the numbers of your call sign, for example, if we were to put in FedEx 641, you would put capital F, capital D, capital X, space. There's a space between the X and the 641, all right? Capital letters, make sure there's a space between the letter and the number.
Okay.
Then you'll push the start button, all right?
Okay.
Right.
So, and if you have windows, this is where when this new box comes up, you can make the windows smaller, right? And put it on top of the simulation. Have the box over to the left or the right, wherever you want it. So you're able to use it. If you have an iPad or an iPhone, you have to do what I'm doing here. You have to swipe back and forth, right? Between the boxes. You'll swipe to your box, put the entry in, go back to the simulator. All right. So after you push the start button, what will happen is something like this will pop up in the new box. This is the box that you put on top of your simulation, and this is the box that you input your information. It'll say connected, and the call sign I gave you. So I'll say, are you connected? You'll say yes, because it's telling you are. Now, when I give you a heading, you'll enter it in here and push the change button, and it'll change the heading of the airplane. Or if I give you a speed, if I say maintain 210, speed 210, you'll put 210 in and then click the change button. It'll change your airplane's speed. Same thing for the altitude. So usually I only give you one thing, but sometimes 2. If I give you 2, a heading and a speed, you'll put both of them in, change, and then go back to your simulation, right?
Okay.
And that's when you see, I was doing it, you'll see your airplane change heading or speed. So, all right, so let's try and do this, all right? First, I have to connect. I have to put a code in, or a password, and I have to connect to Lead Air's server. And then you'll connect to the server. We'll both be connected to it and looking at the same thing. All right. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put my password in, and I click the start button. And then if you look right up here, you see that thing right there where it says aircraft connected. Yeah. It means I'm connected, not you.
Okay.
I am. Right?
Okay.
All right. Now let's load the proper map that we're going to work on. And let's see, this is I have to look it up here. I'm sorry. Oh, here we are. Stage D. We're going to go to stage D. All right. This is the oldie arrival right here. Oldie. You see the name oldie there. Let me zoom.
Okay.
Okay, here are your airplanes out here. So let's start with Guillermo. All right, Guillermo.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I didn't do was I didn't send you the link, right?
Okay.
Here's the link. I am going to copy this link. And now, where's my simulator? There it is. I'm going to send you a chat message. You don't see me doing this because it's not shown, but here it is. You should get a chat message from me that
Okay.
says
Yeah.
HTTPS, okay, uleader.com. Copy that,
Okay.
right? Copy it
Right.
and paste it into a new window, a new box, not the simulator box, but a new one.
Oh.
I'm aircraft number
And
2.
it disappears.
Well, first of all, I won't tell you your aircraft yet. I need you to bring up that. You should
I have
paste.
external control.
Right. You should have a box like this once you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do both of you have that? Let's see. Who has that? Roberto or
Me. I have it.
Yeah, I
already.
can't tell who's
No.
talking right. Who does have it? Is it Roberto or Guillermo?
Roberto.
Roberto, you have it. Okay. Guillermo, hold on, Roberto. I just want to work on Guillermo now. So Guillermo,
Okay. Right.
What's going on? Do you have your external control box yet?
Is the black one in the right side or
Well,
I'm not
you need to open up a new window.
new window?
Yeah, open up a new window. All right.
How to do it? It's
Yeah, isn't it down at the bottom? Don't you have like a little box that you can, with an arrow or something, open up another window?
let's
¿Ya te fuiste a donde dice chatear? ¿No tienes ahí un mensajito?
no.
Dale en participantes y en chatear debes de tener un globito rojo. Y ahí lo abres y te da el link y te metes al link.
A ver, un globito chatear ya.
Y ya te abrió un link.
Está.
Ahora
Ajá.
dale ahí en ese link y te va a abrir una ventanita que dice External Control.
External control. Yes. I get it.
Okay.
External control. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, so let's start with you, Guillermo. Okay, so for you, it is session number 4.
Section number 4.
Aircraft number,
right?
Yep, 4.
Yep.
Aircraft number 1.
Right.
Now, your aircraft call sign is Delta, Alpha, Lima, capital letters, space.
Lima. Sorry. Yes. Delta's capital. All are capital.
Yes, all of them. Yep.
Delta.
Alpha,
Lima.
space.
Space, like space.
Space, then 4571.
Delta Lima, space. Sorry, 4.
4571.
Okay. Delta Alpha Lima 4571.
All right, and then put in start. Push the start. All right. Did you get a new box that comes up that says you're connected?
Oh. It's the external control session 1.
No,
Aircraft
session
1 is all clear.
Session 4.
Let me put it once again. Section session 4, aircraft 1. And it's Delta.
DAL, yeah, capital letters, space 4571.
4171?
No, 4571.
71.
Start.
Sure. It all clean it up.
It didn't work?
No.
All right. All right. Just hold on, Guillermo. Let me get Roberto connected to make sure we're not having some other
Sure.
problem. I'll
Okay.
get him connected and we'll go back to you. Okay, so Roberto, it is
Yes.
session 4,
Okay.
aircraft number 2,
Okay.
and you are Southwest Sierra Whiskey Alpha, capital letters, Sierra Whiskey Alpha space 2302.
Sierra Whiskey Alpha space 2302.
Start.
Okay. Sierra Whiskey Alpha space 2302. Start. It gives me the same that Guillermo. It sends me again to session 1, aircraft 1, and
Yeah, that means
Yeah.
that means it didn't work. So
Yeah.
All right, so let's try it again. So let's make sure you have session 4.
Okay. Session
Right.
4, aircraft 2,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Southwest Airlines.
Make sure you're using capital letters, right? Sierra,
Sure.
Whiskey out. All 3 are capital letters.
No,
Space.
it's not working for me.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
For me, it's gonna be Delta Alpha Lima. What's the number?
Space
Space?
4571.
Mm-hmm.
4571. I want to try again. Start, but no, it's
Okay,
not
so
working.
what we're going to do is we're going to try a different connection. Let me try a different connection, okay? So I do have to look
Okay.
something up first. I have to look up what the password is for. We'll try session 1, okay?
Okay.
So we'll try a different session. Maybe there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Disconnect that,
Yeah.
and we'll go over to session 1. Get rid of that.
Okay.
And let me try and connect to that. Okay, I am connected.
Okay.
And now, let's start with you, Roberto. It is now session 1.
Okay.
You are aircraft number 2.
Okay.
And the same call sign, Sierra
Okay.
Whiskey Alpha, capital letters, space 2302, and start.
Okay. I'm connected.
Beautiful. Okay, so maybe there's something wrong with that
Session.
that one. Okay, so now we'll find out if you really are in control. So Roberto, put in an altitude of flight level 180. Altitude,
Okay.
flight level 180, and change.
Okay. 180. 18,000?
Yep, 18,000. There it is.
Okay.
You can see on my screen now, in your box, you have 18,000, and your airplane is climbing.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
All right. So
At 100 knots.
yeah, well, we'll change that. So I'm going to give you an
Okay.
instruction to make that right.
Okay.
Southwest 2302, fly heading 270, maintain speed 250.
Okay.
Answer me first, right?
Southwest 2302, flight heading 270 and maintain the speed 250.
Now you can put it in your box. Yeah, because otherwise I might call you again, right? While you're trying to enter it.
Okay. Oh, okay, let me check. 250.
Beautiful. Look at that. Now you see?
Okay.
You're climbing, you're turning to
Okay.
the west, and your speed is up at 250 now. So you have
Okay.
control of your airplane. All right.
Okay.
We'll practice some stuff later. Let's get Guillermo connected. All right,
Okay.
Guillermo, you
Yeah,
ready?
right. Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
ready.
Guillermo. Session 1,
Section 1.
aircraft 1.
Yeah.
And your call sign, same one. Delta Alpha Lima, space 4571. Capital letters.
Delta Alpha Lima And the number of which is?
Yeah, space 4571.
Four, 5, 7, 1. Okay, start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, connected.
All right.
Heading 40.
Let me give you, I'll
15.
give you, here, Guillermo, I'll give you an instruction. Delta 4571, turn left heading 270.
Okay, Delta 471 L. Turn left heading 270. Ooh.
So you have to put 270 in the heading box and change.
270. Change.
There it is. Now you see
Yeah.
you go back to your simulation, you see your airplane turning?
Well, now I can see. I just can see the blue.
Okay, yeah.
Square?
So what happened was, did you make sure you opened a different window for the external control box? You didn't
Tienes que darle doble clic para que te dé la otra ventanita donde estábamos en el simulador.
O sea, doble clic afuera.
Sí, no tienes tú el assistive touch, ¿verdad? No lo tienes, ¿verdad?
No.
No, dale afuera doble clic en el botón de afuera y te va a dar la otra ventana que va a estar en negro. Y le das ahí y ya te abre el área donde vamos a trabajar. Dale 2 veces. Si te da una ventana en negro.
La ventana la tengo en azul.
No. Pero cuando tú le das doble clic te va a dar la ventana otra ventana en negro. O sea, te abre la ventana en negro y le das ahí en negro y te va a dar el mapa.
A ver. ¿Change? ¿Será? No. Side.
Si tú le das doble clic, no te da una ventana en negro, que es donde estamos chateando.
O sea, ahorita tengo, ¿no?
Si le das doble clic, no te la da.
No, fíjate que no.
Mira, haz de cuenta, yo ahorita, ahí te va un ejemplo. Yo le doy doble clic y me da 2 ventanas en negro, ¿sí? En una la tengo toda en negro y dice Zoom, y en otra tengo Safari que dice uleadair.com y ahí es donde está la ventanita de Connected.
No, fíjate que...
¿Sí le diste doble clic afuera?
Sí.
¿Y qué te da cuando le das doble clic?
No cambia. O sea, ahorita tengo nada más el
de Connected.
El recuadro, el Connected.
¿Y no te dé el otro, el de la aplicación Zoom?
No. A ver, voy a salirme y voy hacia al chat, ¿no? A ver si...
Es que es lo que te debes de hacer. Tienes que estar en el chat y tienes que tener las dos. Tienes que estar simultáneamente.
Ya está, ok.
Ok. Dile a Denis, por favor.
Denis, I already made it, but let's see.
So what happened with him, Roberto? Can you tell me?
Sí, yes, hold a moment. Oye, Memo, ¿ya tienes el escenario? ¿Ya tienes el mapita?
Yeah, I already have the scene, Denis.
He's already in Denis.
Connected.
He's
connected.
Okay, but can he see the simulation too?
Yeah.
Can he
Yeah.
Okay.
He's already set up.
Okay, good. All right. Delta 4571, maintain speed 250.
250 on the speed, Delta 4571. 250 on the speed. Yeah.
Southwest 2302, turn left heading 240, vector for Julian.
Southwest 2302, turn heading 240, vector for Julian.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, so Guillermo, in that speed box, you have to put
Yeah,
250 and
250.
change.
And trying to.
¿Sí ya le pescaste el memo?
No, no me está
¿Qué te-
respondiendo.
Ah,
Es-
borra toda la cantidad, bórrala toda y ponla lo que te pida él.
Pero, hijo. 250, 250. No
¿Qué es
tiene
lo que
aquí
no te-
como.
¿Cómo
Haz
que?
de cuenta que tengo un recuadro del lado derecho, en la parte superior de la escena,
Ajá.
y tengo,
Ah, no,
haz de
no, no,
cuenta,
pero ahí no cambies, no, ahí no cambies nada. Te tienes que ir otra
Ajá.
vez al cuadrito azul que está connected, ahí, ese es tu cuadro de control. Sí, este cuadro de ahí es nada más referencia de lo que estamos haciendo.
ya, ok, pero,
Tienes que estar dándole doble clic, por eso te digo, tienes que tener el escenario en el que estamos ahorita,
Tengo
el
el
simulador, y ahora dale doble clic y te da la otra ventanita y te da el panel de control y ahí es donde tienes que moverle. ¿Ya le diste doble clic?
sí, pero ahora ya no, tengo el escenario, no tengo los controles.
Okay,
Oh,
so hold on. So hold on.
A ver, okay.
Is he, what's his problem, Roberto? What?
He doesn't have, he only has the scenario, but he doesn't have the external control.
Okay, that's okay. What we're going to do is, because I don't want to use too much more class time, I can get control of, I can get control of his airplane. He can still answer me and still give requests.
Okay.
Now, I'll let Alice know. Maybe they can set up a session or something, or, go back over it. But it's real important to get this right. That way you get to practice the things you want to practice.
That's
right.
Yeah, right.
All right, so what I'm going to do, Guillermo, just put up the simulation. Don't worry about your control box, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
I will get control of your airplane, and when I give you an instruction, I'll make the changes for you until we can get this right next time, all right?
Okay, great.
All right, so
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to push the pause. This happens a lot, okay? It takes a little while sometimes to get everybody to be able to handle it, to work it properly. So I'm going to hit the pause button, stop it, and let's talk about this arrival, all right?
Okay.
Great.
Here's Los Angeles up here at the northwest part of the screen.
Okay.
This is the arrival. It's pretty simple. It's called the Oldie arrival. It ends at Oldie right here. I'll zoom in a little bit.
Okay.
And then it begins the Julian VOR, and you come down here to Julian, and then you fly the arrival to Oldie, and then you'll get instructions to Los Angeles. So the last instructions I gave to Roberto,
Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest was 240 vector for Julian, but you're on a 240 heading. So remember, guys, if you see weather and you need to deviate, that's where we can use those words: request, we would like, instead, all of that. So if you don't like what you see, request something different, right?
Okay.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to push the play button, and we're going to just practice. I'm going to give instructions. You're going to comply with them and change them, or I'll change for Guillermo. Roberto, you can change your own.
Okay.
And if you don't see anything, or you see something you don't like, request to go around. So here we go.
Sure.
Play button, and all right. Delta 4571, turn left heading 240, vector for Julian.
Yeah. Delta 1471, turn left heading 240, vector for Julian.
Southwest 2302, proceed direct Julian and join the Oldie arrival.
Southwest 2302, proceed direct Julian and join the Oldie one arrival. We would like to flat Laddie instead. We have some build-ups ahead.
Southwest 2302, Roger, build-ups ahead. Which way do you want to go? Say a request.
Can we get Laddie instead of
Right,
you
good.
of?
Yeah, okay, up here, Laddie. Very good. All right, Southwest 2302, turn right, direct Laddie, join the oldie arrival.
Turn right, direct Laddie, join the oldie arrival. Southwest 2302.
Delta
Delta
45. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, Delta 4571. We have bad weather ahead. Requesting left deviation is gonna be 20 degrees to the left.
Delta 4571, Roger, 20 degrees left deviation approved. When able, turn right heading 270.
When able, heading 270, Delta 4571.
All right, let me hit the pause button because I want to talk about something. Very good, Roberto. You're headed towards Laddie. Now, you're on your own, right? Because I told you to join the arrival. So when you get up here, you have no more instructions. You're just going to turn right on your own and get on that line or as best you can.
Sure.
I know this isn't really an aircraft simulator, but just try the best. And for you,
that's right.
Yeah, Guillermo, I gave you deviation approved when able, heading 270, meaning when you get down here and you feel comfortable, you can turn to 270. I expect you to do that.
Sure.
All right. All right. Back to the play button. All right. Let's practice some more. Southwest 2302 to set and maintain 2000.
Southwest 2302, descend and maintain 2000.
Delta 4571 to set and maintain 6000.
Down 6,000. Delta 4571.
Delta 4571. It sounded like you said 6,000. To set and maintain 16,000. 16.
Down 16,000. Delta 4571.
Southwest 2302. Traffic 11 o'clock. 10 miles southeastbound at Boeing 737 at 16,000.
Checking for the traffic, Southwest 2302.
All right, so I'm telling you about this traffic here, which you'll see sometimes in these simulations, airplanes that are
Delta 4571. We can head in 270.
Delta 4571. Roger. I forgot to change your speed there. Hold on. Oops. There's that hot button again. I'm not sure what.
Yep.
I have to change your speed back to 250. Okay. So you sure you want to go 270 now? That puts you right in that thunder.
Well,
Okay.
it's going to be we're going to cross, but there's a space in both clauses.
Delta 4571, Roger, heading 270. Fly heading 270.
270 and heading Delta 4571.
All right, I'll help you out. I'll move the thunderstorm a little bit so you'll fly.
So great. Yeah, I was thinking we couldn't go through to both clauses, no?
Yeah, I get that. It's just that the simulator doesn't go that fast sometimes. And
right.
Now you're good. Okay. Delta 4571, proceed direct Julian and join the oldie one arrival.
Yeah, clear direct Julian, oldie one arrival, Delta 4571.
Southwest 2302, descend and maintain 8,000.
Southwest 2302, descend and maintain 8,000.
Delta 4571, descend and maintain 10,000.
Descend and maintain 10,000, Delta 4571.
Now I'm entering these things for you, Guillermo. When we do get the connection problem fixed, you'll have to enter them on your own. So I'm going to move your airplane a little bit farther here. So
okay,
here you go,
great.
Guillermo. You're getting close to Julian, right? So I had told you, direct Julian, join the oldie arrival.
Oldie arrival.
So when you get it right around here, I expect that you will turn yourself on your own. So I'll turn you, what's it, 303? Let's try a a 290 heading for now.
Okay.
Start turning you towards that, and you're going to join. And let me move you up as well, Roberta. Let's get you close
Thank
to
you.
that. There you go. And you can turn when you're ready to join that arrival. To get a little practice of joining ILSs and arrivals and things like that. Uh-oh, you put your heading into your speed. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And that's another, that's all right. That happens. It's a common mistake. I
sure.
see it all the time. All right. So Guillermo, you're down here. You're getting close.
Okay.
And I'm going to
turn
right.
to 8.
Just try a 310 head.
Then is a question. There is
Yes.
a little cloud in the arrival.
Here?
Is a heavy rain? No.
Right
Yes?
here at Ronald, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a cloud. You're allowed to fly through those.
Okay, great.
Okay, they're just there for, just props, just examples.
Yeah, great.
I don't want you flying through these thunderstorms. If you see those, that's the time you have to request to
That's
go.
the hard one. Yep.
Yeah. All right, good. All right, looks like you're starting to get the hang of this. So how's your heading look there, Guillermo, 310? Still not right? You're still kind of not on the line, so I'll change that again. Let's try a 330. It doesn't always match the what says on the arrival, like it says 303 down. So there we go. That looks a little bit better, right?
All right.
And Roberto, looks like you need
Yes, I need to turn right.
So this is good practice.
Sure.
All right. Delta 4571, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, Delta 4571.
All right. So I just entered 6, and you can see you're starting to descend. At Southwest 2302, reduce speed to 250, then descend and maintain 6,000.
Reduce the speed to 250 at descend and maintain 6,000, Delta Southwest 2302.
All right. So you read back, reduce speed to 250, and it's then, meaning I want you to slow first, then after you slow, descend, right? Key,
okay.
It's a key thing. If I say then, that means do one thing first, get to 250, then you start your descent.
Okay.
All right.
This is, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read it back again. Practice.
Okay, Southwest 230, reduce the speed to 250 knots and descend to 6,000.
No, then.
Then descend to 6,000.
Right, that's different than and. All right.
Okay.
All right, let me load the next arrival. We just have 2 more minutes, but I want to load the next one so you can see an ILS. All right, and that is A. So we can go. We can have the same airplanes and then go to different areas. And
okay.
Where are the airplanes? They're probably over here somewhere. Let me unzoom. Yeah, let me bring them over here so you can see an ILS. I'll zoom back in. And the airplanes are a little too big. I can make them smaller. But you can see, now you're going back to the headings and all that you were on before, but here's Los Angeles and here's an ILS. So we could practice doing that. I can clear you for an ILS, right? So here we go, Southwest 2302. Now, it loaded the old altitudes and headings, but Southwest 2302, turn left heading 240, vector for the ILS, descend and maintain 3,000.
Southwest 230, turn left heading 240 and descend and maintain 3,000.
There you go. All right. Delta 4571, turn left heading 240, intercept the localizer.
Turn left heading 240, intercept the localizer, Delta 4571.
All right, so I'm going to put 240 in your heading. You'll see it turn.
Thank you.
And when you get to that, close to that line, you just start to fly along that line. All right. And then eventually I would clear both of you for the ILS into Los Angeles. And then once I clear you, I would expect once you get closer to the airport, you descend your airplane into the airport. And then later on, I'll just show you, we could load, if we wanted to, the actual Los Angeles airport. Let me find that. And there's the airport, and we could practice landing and taxiing and things like that.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Yeah. So let me hit the pause button. So, all right. So we're getting to the end of the class. So I want to make sure we have we cover any questions that you might have. So first, let's do that. Guillermo, do you have any questions?
No, not at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. How about you, Roberto?
No, I only want to mention something that sometimes when we answer to the ATC,
Mhm.
we answer first the last thing, the last instruction.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
That's okay. It's
Have you
common.
noticed that?
No, yeah, and it's common because that's just a normal thing in conversation. But then you realize towards the end, I need to tell them my call sign because I don't know who's talking. I might recognize your voice, and normally if I give an instruction, that's the person who answers me, that airplane. So it's not uncommon for you to read your instructions first and then give me the call sign. I would prefer you give me the call sign first so I know the right person's talking. But as long as you say it at the end, it's okay. That's normally what happens. But you'll always hear me say your call sign first, then the instruction. So that's okay. Good. That's a good question. I like that. Okay, so Guillermo, what I'll do is, did you get a video or a something in an email that you could watch just to properly connect? Did you already get?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I'll notify Alice. Maybe she can send that to you, and I'll tell her you had a little bit of trouble, and maybe she'll contact, maybe not. Maybe she'll just send you the email, and it's just a video that shows you how to do it. And
okay, great.
I'm not teaching tomorrow, but the next instructor will tomorrow. But tell him, make sure you had trouble yesterday connecting. Once you get the hang of it, it's not a big deal. Also, for you, Guillermo and Roberto, you can save that link. It'll always be the same to open up your external control box if you want to open that up ahead of time. So you can save that if you want. And so that's it. Today we covered, instead of, just a different request, right? What you want, something different. And the simulations are the fun part, right? Where you get to fly the airplane, you get to see what happens. But
yeah, that's right.
This is how the classes go. We'll do 3 PowerPoints, cover the information, then we go into simulation and practice. All right, good.
Just one question, Dennis. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to be from 9 to 11. Maybe I will be ready for the evening lesson.
Yeah, that's okay.
I only get through at the time at 7 o'clock, and that's it, at 7 p.m.
It's Central Time is from 8 to 10. So what time zone are you in?
We are.
Are you Mountain?
Eastern Time.
Yes. So it's an hour difference. So yes. Yeah. So it is a different time, just like it was for you today, probably, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 8 Central.
Okay.
So whatever you need to adjust to that. So yeah. So it's okay if you can't do morning and you do evening or morning. They're the same class as far as I know.
Okay.
So as long as you get one or the other, you'll be okay.
And if it's not possible to be on either one of those classes, I can have the video, no?
Yeah, we record it, so it should be available. I think it's on YouTube. I'm not sure what the link is. You'll have to ask either your company or Alice how to get to that. Yeah, but we do record the class.
Wow.
Well,
thank you for your knowledge, Dennis, and have a nice day.
Okay,
Dennis, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye. Nos vemos, Memo. Cuídate.
Bye.
Chao.
Bye. Gracias. Bye.
De nada, bye.
Bye.